Well, all right.
Welcome back to As It Should Be. Paul Bertolino here in the world famous As It Should Be Studios with Crystal Durant.
Hi.
With Tommy Von Voigt.
All right.
Yeah, and with the great banner year of 2018.
Is it now?
Ooh, banner.
In somebody, to somebody, to some of you watching, it could be. I don't know.
As long as I don't have to go first.
Those younger kids out there are loving it.
Well,
and Tommy, I think you go first.
yeah, I think you do go first. In fact, Tommy does go first.
Yeah.
So you're,
Sorry.
No!
I know you don't want it.
I don't want it.
I know you don't like
Well-
it, but you're gonna do it.
All right.
Might as well get his one album list out of the way.
That's
and then
right.
Get on
Take
it.
five-
I don't have a one album list, okay?
Oh, wow, you don't have anything?
Screw you both. I have 3 album lists.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
well.
I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
However, it's the same album 3 times. No, it's not. Okay, so, yes. So, my number 3, 2018. You know, I'm the guy. I'm just going to be the one that does this.
Okay.
Anthem of the Peaceful Army by Greta Van Fleet.
What?
Screw it. I don't care. They're good.
Wow.
They're good. They get tons of Led Zeppelin comparisons, obviously. And a lot of those Led Zeppelin comparisons are unfair because they don't have songs that are nearly as good as Led Zeppelin.
That is a fact.
That's true.
So far, now you've said something I agree with.
But you know
Yeah.
what? They've got some shit that I really kind of actually enjoy. And they're talented. They can play their asses off. They sound like that live.
Yeah.
The singer's got a hell of a set of pipes on them.
Yeah.
You know, this is one of those things where you get people complaining all the time. Mostly keyboard warriors. There's so many keyboard warriors in this world. Complaining all the time, oh, there's no real rock and roll anymore. There's no young kids, doing music like we grew up with. Well, Greta Van Fleet comes along, and you can argue until you're blue in the face about whether or not you actually like their songs, but they're sure as hell nailing that sound of yesteryear. And all of a sudden, no,
Well-
screw these guys. They suck. They're posers.
I would like to quote Tommy from an earlier episode. Yes, I like this 80s sound. Yes, I like these production values, but there have to be good songs attached to it.
That's fair,
But
but...
it's
So basically, I guess
2018.
point being that the people who are clamoring for this for kids to come out and make these records, they do want to like the records.
Oh,
They want the records to be.
Most of the people going on and on about that crap, let's be real, will listen to literally anything you give them. And that's what they did most of their lives. They listened to good music in the 70s and 80s because there was just a lot of good
They couldn't
music.
avoid it.
Okay?
avoid it.
yeah.
That's the same type of person that was all in on Creed and Nickelback back in the day, too, because
Oh,
they couldn't avoid that
God.
either. I'm not saying it's the same guy, but it's the same person type. Okay? So I don't give a crap about what they say about whether or not a song is good. I determine if I like a song or if I don't. And I think Greta Van Fleet's got some good songs.
I'm not mad at this because I have always said that about the Black Crowes.
Ah.
When the Black Crowes came out, oh, they're posers. Blah, blah,
Good
blah,
example.
blah, blah, blah. But the songs, they're not great, but I thought for what they were doing, they were really damn good. And Chris could sing his ass off, and his brother can play guitar really great. The band was very tight. Saw them 1,000 times live. They crush it all the time.
The Crows
and
sound
the
more
Crows-
distinctly like themselves, though, I think.
Well, the
Yeah,
Crows
they're
also
not-
have a couple of songs that are genuinely really
Good.
too.
I agree with that. But a lot of people just came right in like, oh, they're trying to sound like... And I'm like, who are they trying to sound like? The 60s. Like, that's not
That's
really...
my favorite band, the 60s.
Yeah, I love the 60s. And my favorite haircut is the Beatles.
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like, I'm never going to win the Greta Van Fleet argument with most people out there. But, you
That's
you
fine.
throw this record on, you listen to something like a Highway song, and it's like, well, this is what you guys have wanted for like 20 years, and here it is, and
Stop
now you're
bitching.
complaining about it. So,
Yeah. Listen to it.
anyway, my number 2. This is a band that I totally messed up. I totally messed up, and this is their first entry into my lists, and they should have been on my list sooner, and this was an oversight on my part. And I recently saw these guys in concert at Gramercy Theater, and oh my god, they were incredible. And the band is Battle Beast with No More Hollywood Endings, and they should have been mentioned sooner. They are I don't want to say power metal band, but I guess they're power metal adjacent. They're like a heavy metal, melodic heavy metal band from Scandinavia, because of course they're from somewhere in Scandinavia. I think they're Finnish. And
They're Finnish?
They're Finnish. And the female lead singer is just incredible. Songs are super, super catchy. She's live. She comes out. She's got like these huge horns, just got like this Viking armor on, and just
Naturally.
killing it. And she just goes up there and just parks there for the next hour and a half with no fatigue, and it's just like, oh,
What are they called?
Battle Beast.
Battle
They're
Beast.
Well, now-
so good. This is. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say power metal is a genre. I don't know. There's so many modern metal subgenres that I see the names all the time, but I don't know what they are. Like,
There are
what
too
is power
many.
metal?
So power metal, there's like kind of a few different flavors of power metal. There's like the old school power metal, which is like Halloween, which is very catchy songs played at 100 million miles an hour, with incredibly difficult technical drumming. And then there's power metal has other forms where it's not quite a million miles an hour, but it tends to be very melodic and very catchy. There is a focus on hooks. They're not afraid to use major keys, whereas a lot of metal doesn't tend to do
Right.
that.
They're
that
probably
often.
not detuned.
I
No,
thought
not
Yeah.
detuned.
I thought anything that has power in the preface means power chords.
No, not at all.
Oh.
No, misconception. But yeah, these guys are fantastic. Actually, fun fact: this is the band that is the reason why Steve Woodsell, our friend Steve Woodsell, ended up joining my heavy metal band Witchforce on lead guitar, because I pitched him the project and he heard the demos, which were all these really catchy, hooky, old school metal songs with female vocals in place, and he had just been recently getting deep into Battle Beast,
Oh.
and he's like, oh man. He's like, dude, I'm in. He's like, I want to be in like New York's version of Battle Beast.
All right.
And
you
yeah,
go.
so he's been all in, and it's because of Battle Beast that we bonded over Battle Beast, and he turned me onto them, and I should have had them on my list sooner, but here they are.
All right.
You may have been bonded by blood, but they were bonded by
Battle
battle.
Beast.
That's right. That's right. That is an awesome song, by the way, with terrible vocals. Anyway, there's a little Exodus discussion there. My number one for 2018, the Struts are back with Young and Dangerous.
Oh, I didn't know they had a follow-up.
Yeah,
I
they did.
didn't realize they had.
Yeah,
other albums.
they've got a few albums.
Okay.
That's
After this one, they fall right off really hard. Yeah. This one is a killer record, but after this one, it's like, uh-oh.
Oh, so I guess maybe we've heard the last of
We
them.
might, well, in this form.
We'll find out.
We'll see.
We'll find out.
We'll see.
Shit. Okay.
We'll see. I haven't yet
Wow.
decided yet when we get to
Okay.
2020.
Stay
So.
tuned for that.
Yeah.
All right.
But there we go. So that's my top 3 for 2018, and you're lucky to get that.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're going to be lucky to get this too. A commercial from
there.
2018. Oh, yeah, you love it.
I was waiting for you to fart.
Not comfortable. It doesn't always work that way. It's not like if I hold it in long enough, it's just like, fine, fuck you, I'll go out the other exit I saw.
I saw.
Hey, you know?
Yeah, that's gas talking.
That's gas talking for you.
The other exit I saw.
Yeah, all right. Well, we have Crystal's list.
Oh.
It's a gas.
What's on your list, Crystal?
Well, there's no Jumping Jack Flash, I'll say that.
Unfortunately.
Oh,
Sad.
no.
Unfortunately, there were none of those this year.
All right, so I'll start it off by saying 2018 was the beginning of Cardi B. And that was her big first album. The name I don't remember. She was checkerboard, black and white, yellow wig, glasses, and Post Malone with beer bongs and Bentleys. So that's the overarching 2018.
Get the fuck off our lawn.
Get off my lawn. All right, so I don't have any runners up, but I got a lot of questions. So I'm just going to read these off, and then, Paul, when you edit this, please put just a gigantic question mark in the center.
Well, let me ask you. Do you your question supposed to be before your main list or before your hate list?
This is before my main
That's
list.
another one of the questions.
I'm just asking
isn't
because
it?
normally you place it before you, so I wanted to make sure you,
Oh, yeah,
you
no.
hadn't lost your place there.
This is before
Maybe
my
you
main
need
list.
your fucking glasses there.
I'm good. I'm old.
All right.
All right, so I got Corrosion of Conformity, Joe Satriani. Anvil, Joe Perry. His album was called Sweetzerland. Sweetzerland. You familiar with this?
I've never heard of this.
Nope.
Sweetzerland. Sweetzerland Manifesto, that's what it is. Mudhoney, Loudness, Moby, Andrew WK, Judas Priest, Shonen Knife, Suicidal Tendencies, Stone Temple Pilots, The Eels, Manic Street Preachers, Striper, Dr. Dog, Nine Inch Nails, Cowboy Junkies, Death Cab for Cutie, Alice in Chains, Dead Can Dance? Big question mark.
So for those who don't understand the whole thing, this is the what the fuck? These people put out an album this year?
And
list?
this year, yeah,
Yeah.
like that's crazy.
Yeah.
And a sort of an honorable mention. Number one is that there is a band out there called Mom Jeans, and there was no musical genre listed with them. And
I think Suck would be the
I
genre.
did not want to find and listen, so there's that. And I'm going to give a shout out to my homie Aki Burmese, because he's in a band called Lake Street Dive, and they came out in 2004, but they put out a record this year, and yeah, that's why I'm mentioning them. So they're a free country band, blah, blah, blah. You can read about them. Anyway, here's my list. I have 7 entries,
Wow.
and it was kind of hard to do.
Tough to get that many.
It was, yeah. And all right, so coming in at number 7, and now I'm regretting putting it on the list, is "Love Is Here to Stay" with Tony Bennett and Diana Krall.
Why are you regretting it?
Well, because I don't really like her, but I love Tony Bennett, and anytime I can get to listen to Tony Bennett, I'll take it. So I'm not going to say that he overshadows or overpowers her in any way, because he was a great singer and very kind to his partners like Lady Hoo-Ha and all that. So if you like Tony Bennett and you want to hear some Tony Bennett coming from this year, listen to that record. Coming in at number 6, I have Egypt Station by Paul McCartney.
Whoa. What?
Can you believe it?
No.
Yeah, it's all your fault,
In
Paul.
fact, I don't believe you. I think you're lying.
I'm not lying. It's right there, see? Egypt
Oh, so you were
Station.
lying when you wrote that too?
No, I'm not lying. I'm not lying.
Lying when you wrote that.
She's pretending she likes it just to sound cool because McCartney's such a hip artist.
No, I'm not. This is all your fault, because we've had multiple conversations about how I was not listening to Paul McCartney's
Later McCartney.
Yeah. And you cited a handful of albums. I can't believe you got a da-da-da-da-da-da. And Egypt Station was one of them that you mentioned, and in the list. And so I went down the list, and I wound up liking this.
Yeah.
So there's Who Cares, I Don't Know, Come On to Me. And this came out at the time where he did the epic Carpool Karaoke
Yes.
with James Corden on his TV show. If you haven't seen it, it's on YouTube. You have to watch it, because not only does he do a carpool karaoke with him driving through Liverpool, he goes to his old house, Paul McCartney's old house, where there's a family living in it who didn't know that Paul McCartney lived there. And it's James Corden and Paul McCartney at like knock knock, oh hello, blah 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 blah, I used to live here. And they're like, what?
Well, so that's why 100 people are standing out front every day since we moved in. It's like,
Yeah.
do you not know
What's
this?
going on? Yeah, like people taking pictures. You don't
Yeah.
notice what's
we
going
stopped.
on.
People really liked our yard.
So he played a small gig at the Philharmonic Dining Rooms, where he performed "Come On to Me" live for the first time. The segment was broadcast on June 17th, 2018, in conjunction with the album release. And so when Corden met McCartney, live from Liverpool, was broadcast on CBS on the 20th of August in 2018. And yeah, he did all that. And then he went to, whatchamacallit, the first place at the cavern.
Yeah, the sort of repro cavern.
Repro Cavern.
Yeah.
Which people showed up for. But this was like a local pub that he played at, and was like
Yeah.
1,000 people crammed in this little place. Like, what the fuck, Paul McCartney? Oh my God! Like walking all around. Yeah, it was really cool. So watch that from CBS. Coming in at number 5, I have "Dirty Computer" by Janelle Monáe. If you like Janelle Monáe, you will like this album. That's all I'm gonna say about it.
I ain't never heard it.
It's on par with most of her stuff. It's Janelle Monáe. You know, it's rocky, poppy, funky, soul-y, computer blippy, all together. Not shoehorned in a bad way, but it's good. Janelle Monáe, she's got a great voice. Coming in at number 4, I have "By the Way, I Forgive You" by Brandi Carlile.
Oh.
I love Brandi Carlile. She's got a beautiful, beautiful voice. Her songs are really good. She's super popular, but to me, not popular enough. She's very, like, she's old school, like modern old school feel. Bluegrassy without being bluegrass, if that makes any sense. I guess the category officially is Americana. That's what they say now on the charts. But she's really good. Coming in at number 3, this is another one I'm kind of regretting, but it is good. "American Utopia" by David Byrne and Brian Eno, which wound up being a Broadway show, which I went to see. And it's new material written by the both of them. It's not rehashed Talking Heads, even though they did Talking Head stuff in their encore on the show. But it's David Byrne and Brian Eno. Do I need to say anything else? Like, if you know what they do, then you'll know what to expect. It's a lot of polyrhythms. It's not, I don't want to say heavy on drums and all that, but it's a heavy percussionist, and it's bippity boppity David Byrne kooky.
Seems like a pairing that was inevitable.
Yeah. It's good. Yeah, it's good. David Byrne wears on me sometimes, but I liked it.
Wears on a lot of people.
Yeah.
You're here.
Aside from the run-in I had with him, it's fine. Coming in at number 2, I know I'm breaking the law. I know I'm not putting Judas Priest in here, but it's a soundtrack because it's 2018, and I was desperate to have a longer
You
list
have
than 3
soundtracks.
things.
Yeah.
I know, but I just tried to stay away from them. And that's the Black Panther soundtrack. That movie was amazing. It meant a lot to a lot of people. The soundtrack was great, even though it's mostly Kendrick Lamar, who is not for me. I appreciate what he does. I really can't take his nasal tone. That's what really irks me. I can't with that. Yeah.
He saw what I did there.
I saw what you did there.
Do I have to wait to watch this to see what
Yeah,
you
get it. You'll get it.
You have to watch it.
God damn it. All right, now I'm going to shoot a video of myself laughing or crying when I watch it. But it's mostly him, but it's good. If you like the movie, you probably weren't even listening to the music in the background because you were too focused on what was going on visually. But it's good. But coming in, my number 1 album. 2018. Piano and a Microphone, 1983 by Prince.
Oh!
Yes. So obviously this was posthumously released. And it was on CD, vinyl, digital formats, came out September 21st of 2018. It was the first one released by his estate, containing solely material from the archive, The Vault. And the term The Vault is capitalized when you talk about Prince.
Well, of course.
The
Of course.
Vault, yes. So it was discovered as a single cassette tape in the vault at Paisley Park. The music was recorded in one take in 1983 at Prince's Kiowa Trail home in Chanhassen, Minnesota. The session is nearly 35 minutes of his vocals while he played piano and segued between songs. It was just like one long gazooby-dooby. It has alternate versions of previously released and yet to be released songs, cover versions, and sketches of other songs. 4 of the 9 tracks were previously unreleased. Mary, Don't You Weep, Wednesday, which was originally recorded by Jill Jones. I see you, Jill Jones. For Deleted Scene and Purple Rain, and Cold Coffee and Cocaine, and Why the Butterflies. A Case of You, 17 Days, Purple Rain, International Lover, and Strange Relationship were already released and done on that record. And Yes.
You sent me that record, MP3s of that record, before it even came out.
That's right, because I got it from my Purple Connection. Valdir, you know I'm talking about you. Yeah, it's great. If you didn't get to see him doing him in a piano before he died, and if you haven't listened to that record, which is really good, listen to this, especially because you're going to get a very different perspective on those songs that were already released. Like International Lover, I hate that song. That's one of the worst Prince songs ever, I think.
Yeah.
It's so terrible. It's really terrible.
But
it's
do you
really
dislike it for
long.
on this album?
I like it on here better. Yeah, it's really long, and yeah, I have a terrible memory of that song. It was a very bad sexual encounter.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely, if you're hooking up with somebody and they put that song on.
I wanted to walk out, but I didn't want to be rude. I'm too polite. I mean, eventually I did walk out for other reasons, but
Politeness only goes so far.
I just think it was so crazy that at that time when that record came out, that dudes, that was their game, playing International Lover, trying to fuck you with that. No, son. No. So that's my list.
All right.
All right.
All right. Well, stay tuned. We have some messages for you. Okay.
All right, buckle up.
Buckle up,
Buckle up, everybody.
Oh, it's Paul Core time.
Get yourself a
time.
beverage. Get
All
comfortable.
right. Well, all right. I have a full album list here, or full
Of
10
course
album
Of
you
course you
friggin' do.
What the fuck?
list. And I have 2 honorable mentions.
Oh, God.
White Denim with Performance, and Fancy Colors with Night Times, the EP. Favorites of yours, right?
White
Albums
Denim?
you've listened to many, many times.
Can't get enough of it.
Oh,
Can't get
I
enough.
love.
Yep.
All right. So, I guess... okay. I forgot to number my bottom ones here, so let me see if I can do this without having numbers in front of me. Maybe my brain will figure this out. All right, it's coming in number 10. Yeah, okay. I gotta explain what's going on here. I've cut to just me solo here because I don't want Crystal and Tommy to hear what I have to say here. No, that's not true. No, I completely messed up. And I skipped my number 10 when we originally shot this. So I'm coming in right now to give you my number 10, and this also means that some of the numbers that I say from here on out are going to be wrong. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Pay attention to the numbers down below in the cards there. That's the real information. But coming in number 10, Steve Perry with Traces. Yeah, Steve Perry comes back after years and years and years of just complete and utter absence. I mean, who knew where he was? Was Steve Perry still alive? Could he still do it? Could he still sing? What the hell happened to this guy? Well, finally he comes back after all these years and puts out this record, and you know, it's not perfect. His voice is not perfect, but I like it. The opening track, the single that came out ahead of the album, No Erasing, I love it. I love it. And it's just, you know, part of it is nostalgia. To have a new song come out with that voice, in that style, you know, was just so... it just felt and sounded so good to me. And now, years later, I mean, that came out in 2018. It's now 2024. I still think that track is great. In fact, I think I like that song more than I ever did. Now, the album overall is good. It's not great. That's why I put it at number 10. There are too many ballads on it. It's Steve Perry. He can be a little ballad heavy, but all of side one is just all really slow, and they're good songs, but I think he gets to like side two before he has a couple of upbeat tracks. He could have used one or two more upbeat tracks and a slightly different track order, but I'm still giving it to Steve Perry because he's one of the greatest singers ever, and I'm just so glad he came back and that he sounded as good as he did, that the record is as good as it is. I hope he has a new one soon. All right, coming in at number 10, Paul McCartney with Egypt Station.
Oh my God!
But I have mine lower.
That's
I have
right.
it lower than you.
Yeah.
You know what? I used to have this record higher on this list.
Oh yeah?
When I listened to it yesterday, I was like, I still like the songs that I liked, but overall,
I win!
Yeah. But Egypt Station is the name of a painting that he did in 1988, and that's what he used for the cover.
Yeah.
And, I like this album a lot more when it was new. It hasn't aged that well for me. But, I don't know. Who cares? I love Back in Brazil. But
for me, somebody who didn't listen to a lot of Paul McCartney solo stuff for 10,000 years, it's higher for me on the list. And
well, it was probably a pleasant surprise because you probably go in going, okay, what's this going to sound like?
No. I go in open arms.
Okay, well, maybe that's just me. That's how I approach all records. Guilty until proven innocent, all you records out there.
Oh, they're all suspect.
That's
Okay,
true.
all right.
He
A
is
new
like
Red
that.
Cross album. What's this going to sound like?
Oh yeah, sure. Sure, Jan.
But it also does have the song For You.
Yes, for you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that is kind of a no.
That's all I'm going to say about that. If you know, you know. Okay, so number 9. John Howard. The great John Howard. With, where do I have that? Oh, I have it right here. The Hidden Beauty. John Howard with The Hidden Beauty. John Howard, I've talked about him before, a singer-songwriter from the 70s who kind of disappeared after one album and came back in the 2000s and has been here ever since, making album after album. This is a compilation of early demos and 70s singles, so this spans 73 to 79, and some good stuff on there. It's good to get another record with some 70s John Howard on it.
He's cute.
All right. Coming in at number 8. Slow.
Oh my God! What?
With an album entitled 12. Do you know why the album is called 12?
It's their 12th
It's
album.
their 12th album.
Oh my God!
And see, that's the thing I have to point out here. How many times have you seen me put Sloan on these lists? Well, I got news for you. They only have 13 albums in total, only around 6 of which are on my list. It seems even to me like I've put 15 of their albums on my list.
Yes, it
but
does.
But they don't even have. They only
15
have
albums.
13 in total.
Paul, I gotta say, you are, for all the crap we're giving you, you are incredibly fortunate that there has been so much music that's been independently released or just been under the radar that speaks directly to you. You are genuinely fortunate.
I feel fortunate. I mean,
Yeah.
all these bands and all these records that I talk about in these later years, that I talk enthusiastically about, as much as I like them, I don't put them anywhere near for the most part, anywhere near in the category of the classics. But I genuinely like these records. I mean, I think these are good records, and they are for me, in a modern context.
Right.
This same album, this same Sloan album, if it came out in 1977, it wouldn't even be on my fucking honorable mentions list.
Right.
But it's a good record,
Wow.
But, all right. But coming in at 10, 9, 8, 7. Valley Lodge.
Yay!
Valley Lodge with
Lodge.
Fog Machine. Now, Valley Lodge, I've talked about them before. That's the band it's the band of Dave Hill, the comedian. And he's a friend of ours here in New York, and he's a comedian mostly, but he also has this band that makes these really great melodic, catchy guitar pop records. And if you ever watched Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, the theme song for that is
Oh,
Valley
that's
Lodge.
him?
Yeah, he wrote it.
Oh,
That's
yeah, I know
Valley
that
Lodge.
very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's Valley Lodge. That's them. And Fog Machine, great record. All right. Number 5. Coming in number 5. Yeah, I'm not taking the glasses. This is not a glasses off, but it's good. Black Velvet by Charles Bradley.
Yeah.
Now, this is a posthumous Charles Bradley record. Because he died after the Changes album, but this is sort of a sort of wrap things up, put out all the odds and sods. You know, there's some singles in there, a few outtakes, 1 or 2 instrumentals. You know, because you know what are you gonna do? But there's covers on this album. What do we have? Well, Can't Fight the Feeling is an outtake from his first album, but he has covers of Stay Away by Nirvana, Heart of Gold by Neil Young, and Rodriguez, Slip Away.
I like that hard.
You've all heard of Rodriguez at this point. But anyway, so number 4, Judas Priest.
What?
Judas Priest with Firepower.
Oh yeah.
Man, I think this is a fucking great late period Judas Priest album. Have you listened to it?
yeah.
You think it's okay? I fucking think this is really good. The one before it, I feel the way you feel about this one, about that one. This is their 18th album. It's co-produced by Tom Allom and Andy Sneed, and this is the very first Priest album produced by Tom Allom since Ram It Down. And he produced their entire 80s run, like British Steel, Point of Entry, Scream for Vengeance, Defenders, yeah, and Turbo, and Ram It Down too. But yeah, you know, this is a remarkably strong late period Priest album, I think. And I even really like the cover too.
I don't know, man. I start checking out a Priest around Painkiller. There's some stuff on that I like, and a lot of stuff on that record I don't like, and they just kind of lost me ever since.
Well, I mean, I will say that I do feel like once they hit on Painkiller, they've kind of seemed to be just trying to remake that album over and over again since.
Yeah, I could see that.
You know?
To varying degrees of success.
But sometimes they do it well, sometimes not so much. I think this is one of the good ones. All right. But anyway, so number 3, the James Hunter 6 are back with Whatever It Takes. This is their second album. Well, this isn't their second album. This is the second album. It's hard to explain. He had some earlier records, but this is his second out of the albums that I know, I guess I should say. Because kind of like, say, Lee Fields or whatever, he has an earlier part of his career that didn't quite, you know, that his head didn't quite poke up above the ground. And then with the album previous to this one, he kind of, that's when he first kind of made a mark. So I always think of it as his first album, but it's really not. But anyway, this is total early 60s Sam Cookish soul. Careless Talk from an Innocent Man, which is Billy Joel's Sound Cookish track, could easily be a James Hunter track. Except this has absolutely no 80s to speak of. The 60s style production sounds incredibly authentic on this. Yeah, great record. And my number 2, Wild Nothing with Indigo.
Wild Nothing.
Yeah. Wild Nothing with Indigo, another one of my indie dream pop albums. Taps into the more dreamy and nostalgic sounds of the 80s, kind of like Stand or Fall by The Fix, or The Cure, or even early Ocean Blue. Sometimes sounds like Classic 7 era Moody Blues with 80s instrumentation. Opening track Letting Go sounds like the Ocean Blue playing a Cure song, which even the Ocean Blue doing the Ocean Blue sometimes sounds like Ocean Blue playing a Cure song. But Wheels of Misfortune sounds like Sean Lennon singing on a mid-80s Fleetwood Mac track, like a Tango in the Night track.
What?
Which doesn't exactly sound like a glowing review of that, but
Interesting.
it's a good track. All right, so number 1. My number 1, you saw it back here. You knew it was fucking coming. Come on. Young Guns Silver Fox with the AM Waves, their second album.
Paul Core.
I mean, would you say that this is the very definition of Paul Core?
No.
What would you say is?
I don't know. Because if you think about all the bands that have been referred to as Paul Core, none of them sound alike. I mean, how much does Young Guns Silver Fox sound like Red Cross?
Or Sloan?
Paul Core is a mansion with many wings.
That's
Many
right.
wings.
I keep forgetting.
Denny, Linda. But yeah. But Young Guns Silver Fox, AM Waves. Now they really hit their stride on this album. This is one of my favorites of theirs. Perfectly executed yacht rock, like late 70s AM radio AM Gold, yacht rock, just perfectly executed, written at least on the level of the original stuff. I mean, a lot of the original stuff isn't as good as this. Midnight in Richmond, Mojo Rising, Take It or Leave It, fucking great album. But one thing I want to point out about this record, I have 3 copies of it. Let me explain.
Please do.
Yeah.
Let me explain. So, the very first copy I bought was this one. Okay, the record comes out, I pre-order it. The record comes, it's not signed, I didn't buy it signed. I got this one signed, it came not signed. Okay, great. New Young Gun Silver Fox album. Well, next thing I know, it's being offered online in a signed edition. You could buy it and it's signed. And I ordered it, but I think I didn't get it in time. Like maybe the signed ones ran out. I thought I was ordering a signed one. Well, the record comes and it's not signed. And it's like, oh shit. And it was my mistake. I misinterpreted what I was reading and I just ended up just buying another copy of the record. Fuck. So a couple of years later, they put up what is most definitely a signed edition. Here you go. And I thought, and at this point, I have to point out that they hadn't been to the U.S. to play, and they'd made several albums at this point and hadn't come to the U.S., and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get to see them, ever going to get to meet them, ever be able to get them to sign a record myself. One of them could get hit by a car tomorrow. I mean, you know what I mean? Who knows?
Right.
So I bought it, and it showed up, and it was signed. But, and this is really, 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 really nerdy. You'll notice, you probably won't be able to notice on the video, but it's definitely like a second printing. You can tell that the quality of the printing of the cover on this one isn't as good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the original pressing, this is the second edition pressing, and you can see the difference in the quality. So I was so bummed by that. So when they finally did come to play, I brought my first copy, the first one I bought in the first place, and had them sign that. So it's
Welcome to Paul Bertolino world.
Well, you know what? No. There's something else you need to add to that, though. Now, I don't know if you've ever said this on any other episodes. I can't remember. I apologize if you have, and I'm repeating something. But you shared a story with us not too long ago about when Young Gun Silver Fox came. I'm assuming it's when you had them sign that album, and that you approached them. You saw them like,
oh yeah,
go. Well, you take it. You know the story.
I don't know if I talked about this on the actual.
You might not have said it
on a video.
air.
I told you guys, but I probably didn't talk
I think
about
you
it on
need
video.
to. While we're on this subject of getting it, you need to tell this.
Okay, well, okay, so
Don't
they
be
were playing
modest.
their very first show in the U.S. ever, here in New York at the Bowery Ballroom, and I know when bands load in, so I walked over there to the Bowery Ballroom, and I got there, and they pulled within 5 minutes. They pulled up, and I walk up and approach them, and they're in the trunk or whatever, and I walk up, and Andy, he turns around, and I said, Young Gun Silver Fox, and he looks at me and he goes, Paul Bertolino. And I was like, whoa, what? You know my name? And he says, well, there aren't many blokes who look like you.
What the hell is that
That's
about?
what he said. And
Is that not amazing?
well, I mean, it's the internet. I commented on
I
their stuff,
know,
and
but
still.
It's
But-
not like,
but
it's
I
not
was
like
still-
they
I
have
was still
4
floored.
fans. You
I
know what
was
I mean?
floored.
Like, that's amazing.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
floored. Yeah, but yeah, shout out to those guys, and they've come back since. Again, I've seen them again, and they're working on a new album now. And
We'll see him again.
get ready. All right.
Pretty incredible.
Smoky Mountain barbecue, fried chicken so crispy and sweet. That crispy fried chicken. All right, stop. I can't do this. I thought if I dressed up like a country music legend, it would help KFC sell my delicious new Smoky Mountain barbecue. Try it in the tender's basket for just $4.99.
All right, we're back.
Oh, we're back.
We're back.
And what are we doing? I think Tommy's next, right?
We're taking a big old steamer on 2018. So
Okay, well, that's
Steamer.
I've got a dishonorable mention and a worst of the year.
Okay.
And I am going to make a confession now about both of these. I did not listen to either of them. I feel confidently enough that I have chosen correctly and I've put them in the correct order that they require no listening.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And you can tell me if you think I was right or wrong, and you can comment whether or not I was out of my mind. But I discovered that in 2018, Sting put out an album with Shaggy
Yeah.
called 44876.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
was like, all right, there's really only so good that possibly could be. But then I found something else that surely must be worse. So I was like, well, were I to listen to these albums, I feel like this would probably be my dishonorable mention. And my worst of the year would probably be Smalls Change, Meditations Upon Aging by Derek Smalls.
Oh, I missed this. I remember it at the time now that you mentioned it, but I missed it from my list.
Yeah.
This is Derek Smalls, the bass player from Spinal Tap, put out a solo album in 2018. And yes, I know his name is actually Harry Shearer, and Spinal Tap isn't real. But you see, much like we do with the Muppets, where we've all kind of collectively as a society just agreed that we're all just going to pretend that Muppets are real, don't be the asshole that spoils it. So anyway, this is this bass player from Spinal Tap, Derek Smalls, put out a solo album in 2018.
The guy with the cucumber in his pants?
Exactly.
Right.
Yes.
Well, he's got armadillos in his trousers, you see.
Right.
They become quite fearful. Anyway, how good can this possibly be?
You tell
So
me.
I'm rolling the dice here. This is kind of a dick move. I don't ever do this on this show. But I was just like, you know what? I'm not into gambling. Let's gamble. Let's gamble a little bit. I'm gambling that both of these albums are every bit as terrible as I'm assuming they are, and that they belong in this order. It is a gamble.
Okay.
It is a gamble.
All right, okay.
So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. Comment. Tell me if I'm right. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell
Well-
me if I'm crazy.
Okay. All right. Well, Crystal.
All right. So let me just say this clump of bullshit right now. I've said it before.
Wait, hold on. This is a crystal clump of bullshit.
A clumpification.
So I've said it before, I'll say it again, I'm going to keep on saying it, that rap music is terrible during this time period.
Yes.
It is bloody awful, it is.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Awful. And this clump of garbage right now came out this year. Yee by Kanye West, which is when he, like, super duper jumped.
Is that this?
everything.
This is the point where everyone kind of mutually agreed he's just gone.
We've all come
Yeah.
together at this point.
Right.
Like, this is because Yee is Jesus and he's,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh,
Playboy.
I thought it was Ye, like as in short for Kanye.
Well, it's Yee or Yay. You can
Okay,
say
okay.
it.
Oh, so that's where he. Okay, I
Yeah.
get it.
Yee Jesus. Jesus.
Oh, that's where the Yeezus and
Yeezus.
Yeezys and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's what he said at his church, anyway. So there's that. Then there's Playboy, Playboi, Carti, Carti, with Die Lit. We got Scorpion by Drake.
Anything by Drake.
Anything by Drake.
We got A$AP Rocky's Testing. And we have 6ix9ine. Who's that?
Oh, Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah,
The guy with the Skittles all over his face.
and like big 6ix9ine and old English font on his face, and
yeah.
these multicolored fronts that are fangs and all this shit, and his hair is really long and was beautiful until it's like all rainbow stripes and everything. You don't know what the fuck is going on with this kid. He's mentally ill.
Off our lawn.
Yes, and he spells his name the number 6 IX, the number 9 INE, all together, 6ix9ine. And the album is called Day 6ix9ine, and this is one of the most egregious examples of trap music.
Oh.
It's terrible. And then we got Lil Yachty with Lil Boat 2. Lil Yachty. Fuck that guy. So then on my, normal list of garbage, there's Golden by Kylie Minogue. And I will say, I gotta give it up to you, Kylie Minogue, because You don't care what is going on. You do you. Much like Tommy. You do what you want. And I'm not mad at that. I just wish that the product was better. Because you can only rehash disco, thumpy, technical, blah, 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 but so much. Because it's like bad house music. It's just one long thing that's boring.
It is. It's like bad house music, third, fourth rate house music, and she's been stuck on this cooey baby doll voice for ages.
For 10,000 years. You're 60-some years old. Stop it.
So you get off the bus with her at some point.
I got off the bus a long time ago.
I get off the bus with her around her third record when she started exerting creative control.
Yeah.
Which I'm never going to fault an artist for wanting creative control. You're an artist, you want creative control. But what she wanted to do was not something I was into.
Yeah.
I'm with the first two records.
The last good song was, Oh, I can't get you out of my head.
Yeah, and that was over 20 years ago.
It's not good.
Yeah.
Then there is this compilation, Revamp and Restoration. There are 2 albums of reimagining the songs of Elton John and Bernie Taupin.
They don't need to be reimagined.
Why do people do this?
They were imagined just fine.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, exactly.
Leave it alone.
Right?
Those were figured out just fine.
Yes.
And then, apparently I was the idiot who actually listened to 44-8.
Oh, you did? You did listen to
by
this?
Sting and Shaggy.
Oh, no.
Yes, it is a terrible reggae album. It's pretty much what you expect. That's all I need to say.
So, was I right?
You were correct.
Okay.
And you were also correct with the Derek Smalls album.
You heard that one too?
I listened to that too.
Oh my god!
And I will say that it is, it's obviously a send-up of that genre of music, whatever. But it's actually kind of funny.
Well, it's Derek Smalls. Obviously, it's not serious.
But it's not super cringy or absolutely terrible. The joke just goes on for way too long.
But you know how I am with novelty music.
I know how you are with novelty music, so you are going to hate it. But if you want to listen to something goofy for a few minutes on Spotify or whatever, then just listen to it, because it's kind of funny.
Well, you know what I feel? I feel like this was. I think this was a crystal confirmation. Thank you, Crystal. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Is that your worst of?
That's my worst of. It's over.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
On to you.
Okay, well, what do I have here? I don't remember. What do I have?
What non-Paul core did you find?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this is. I have anti-Paul core.
Anti-Paul core.
Paul core.
Well, Ace Frehley with Spaceman.
Oh, wow.
Ace.
You know,
Forgot about that.
there's some latter day Ace Frehley albums I like, and there are some I don't. Man, this one is just so terrible. I mean, he co-wrote a couple songs with Gene, and I almost feel like Gene was like trolling him. Like, yeah, I'll write some songs with the Ace, and wrote just crap and handed it to him. In fact, the only reason the album is called Spaceman is because Gene Simmons suggested it. When Gene was doing those Vault experience things, and he would have people like he had Ace come to a couple of those and meet everybody, and he would sit and do a Q&A with Ace. And there's video, or there was at the time on YouTube, the moment where Gene suggests this is what your next album should be called. It should be called Spaceman. He said he has some great grand idea that nobody thought of.
Yeah.
And Ace runs with it. His previous album had been called Space Invader.
Yes.
We got it, Ace. Space. We fucking got it, okay?
Space Ace.
We got it. Like, his first album he came out with when he came back after a long, long break was called Anomaly. It's like, thank you. Like, that's an album title. That's a good album title.
It's not bad, yeah.
You know,
Right.
I mean, it's not great, but I mean, come on, fucking Spaceman. Come on, please. And the whole record, this is where he starts to get stuck on this thing where he can't write melodies anymore. Every single song, the melody is like, everything is, I know what boys like, I know what guys like. Over a fucking, it's terrible.
Oh,
Terrible.
with some guest guitarists actually taking little leads, right?
Well, his guest guitarist needs to fucking write the songs too.
Oh.
All right.
He tried that on the next album.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone so well.
He hasn't come to that yet. You know what? Guess what? I put Greta Van Fleet on my list, but you know what? I had nothing for there was quite a while where I had nothing on this list, and I was clutching at straws, and so that was the first thing I put. I'll tell you what, I went back and I listened to it, and I do hate it for the reasons that people tend to hate it, but it is not badly executed. It is technically not a bad record. It is well, they can play, they can perform, it sounds good. I just don't like that they don't seem to be bringing anything of their own to the table. That's what I don't like about it. But, I mean, it's not a badly made or executed record. And then, of course, we have Long Overdue, or maybe it's Just in Time. I don't know if they had albums before this, but come on. Anything by Hawthorne Heights.
I don't even know who that is.
Oh, aren't they one of those, they're like a screamo metalcore kind of thing?
No,
or...
they're just, I don't know, they're just one of those sort of really canned guitar pop records that sound like AI made them for a TV show.
Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else then.
It sounds like a TV show on the CW.
It's the name of the band sounds like a TV show.
Yeah. Hawthorne
But,
Heights.
My worst year. 44,876 by Sting and Shaggy.
Oh, shit!
It's a general consensus.
Yes!
Yeah. You know, that's the last thing I ran across on this list when I was making this list. I at the 11th hour, I ran across this last night.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, it almost didn't make the list. I just saw the cover and I went,
Yeah.
no. Is this real? Is this? Oh shit! No, this is. Oh my god! Oh
It's
fuck!
real.
You
and then
want to
it.
know something? That's when I discovered this was yesterday too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
At the 11th hour, I'm like, oh god, it's got to have something better. Is it? Oh, hello.
on paper, yeah, that's just.
On paper, this fails.
Yeah. There's no way that could have been good. Well, anyway, so there you go. That is our worst of 2018.
Yeah.
And there are many more worst ofs for this year. And probably things that are worse than the things we mentioned. We just haven't discovered them yet. Maybe they'll be on your lists when you come down and comment
please.
and let us know.
Let us know.
All right. Give us a break. We sure deserve it.
Pinkaboo Blossom, I got some.
La La Lavender.
Beauty and the Beach.
I'm yummy and I know it. Do 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 do. Oh my bad.
Red Hot Lover.
Oh, I like that one. Put that one in the basket. Let me see. Down by one. Kendrick Lamar goes from free throw. It still went in. The Lakers win the game.
Hey, Kendrick.
Hey, Rose, is that my luscious Lamar bar?
Yep.
Did you say Lamar bar?
Luscious Lamar bar.
Wish I had my own soap.
I knew you'd say that. Shea Butter Shack.
That's nice.
One-of-a-kind gifts, now 2 times as rewarding. Learn how you could earn 2 times your rewards when you shop small.
Here we go.
All right, so time to get out of here. Wrap up 2018. But before we do, what we have is the final installment of
Vintage Photo Time!
All right, so this is Tommy and Crystal and me in July of 2018 at Arlene's Grocery on the Lower East Side of Manhattan for F-Bomb's 4th annual AM Gold Show. F-Bomb is, of course, a long-running monthly tribute show that we've been involved in for a long time, and each year we do an AM Gold Show. And this particular year, Tommy did Ain't No Stopping Us Now by McFadden and Whitehead, Crystal did It's Your Thing by the Isley Brothers, and I did Me and Mrs. Jones by Billy Paul. And this is us, of course, late in the evening after the show was over, and I believe this is the earliest known photo of the three of us together. All right, so that's us in 2018, and the reason this is the final installment is because, well, actually, I will explain not only why this is the final installment, but why we went this far in. For this one, as you just saw, what I put up is one photo, just one photo, the earliest known photo of the three of us together. And I wanted to get to that one. That's what. Otherwise, I would have ended this like in 2014. You know. So I have so the photo you just saw, I wanted to get to that. And there you go. So the series is continuing, but you've seen the last of Vintage Photo Time.
Just the three of us.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Wow.
All right, so there we go. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing if you have. If you haven't, click the little bell, notifications. But come back next week because I believe
What
we
we
are
doing?
what are we doing? I have to look. We're ranking the Pink Floyd album covers.
Not the albums.
The album covers.
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 Album
Yes.
artwork.
The artwork.
Yes, exactly.
The
We
jackets.
recently did that with what band did we do that with?
We did that with Prince.
Prince. Yes, that's right. We did. Yeah, that band, Prince. Yeah, so just like with Prince, we're doing the covers, and it'll be a different ranking than it would be if we were doing the albums. And yeah, come back and see what we think of those. And then the following week we'll be back with 2019. All right, everybody. Thanks. See you guys next week.
Bye. The
Yeah.
camera.
All right. So excited. So excited.
Indeed.
Okay. Okay, gotta stretch. All right. Give Tommy a moment. I don't want to sneak this one in on Tommy while he's drinking. We'll choke him.
That would have been funny as shit. You would have done that. You should have just ran with it.
See, I keep missing these opportunities for great shots for these videos. Damn it. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Well, all right.